So I just got my brand new tire on, and my front tire is very, very slick. Tires are made kind of weird. They have, well, at least motorcycle tires. When motorcycle tires are actually put in an injection mold, and the mold is pressed, it gets hot, and when the mold cools, they pull the mold apart, and they pull the wheel out. But before all that, they spray the mold down with a slick coating, and it's so the rubber doesn't bind to the mold, and when they tear the tire out, it doesn't get stuck and rip and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of a pain in the ass for motorcyclists because we get a brand new tire, and as you can see, there's a giant white patch, or sorry, a white strip. That's pretty much the edge of what I've scrubbed in. You'll see there's a darker area, and so for the first X amount of miles, that thing's gonna stay there. Like you have to wear off that bit of coating, and it's God, it's such a pain in the ass. Like on rear wheels, it's not so bad, but on front wheels, it's like it's super dangerous. If you're not paying attention to it, you'll fall on your ass. By the way, Super Bowl happened last night. I guess the Patriots won. Good job, them. I don't know who was actually playing until I got there. I'm not really a sports fan. A lot of people are baffled by this because I ride motorcycles and do ridiculous manly things every once in a while, like play video games, and I like guns, but I'd never own one, and all this other kind of crap. Like, I am not a Republican. I'm very not. And for every one of you that are like, oh god, Democrats are evil, you might want to get your facts straight. The people in Republican offices are usually trying to screw you out of money. The rich stay rich by screwing over the poor. So in other news, over Christmas I got this thing called a pie. It's spelled P-I. Well, actually I should say it's called a Raspberry Pi because it's made by a certain company. And it's basically a small computer with a decent amount of processing power, I would say. And it's basically a programmer's toy. So you can do things like hook them up to a digital lens and make them a digital camera, or you can do what I did and slick the ROM and make them into a game emulator. And so what I did is I loaded RetroPie onto mine, which is a program that is just basically a bunch of old emulators. I use it for the Sega Genesis, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and I think Dreamcast. I'm not entirely sure. The reason I say that is because I actually don't use the rest of them. I bought it for just the main three, Sega, Super, and regular Nintendo. Right now I'm playing Metroid and Alien 3. Metroid keeps kicking my ass. I have Zelda. I've messed around with it for a bit. I didn't know Zelda was literally the easiest game in the world because you can die almost infinitely and not get punished for it. I used to think it was insanely hard because you started with nothing again. Turns out this is not true. The Pi itself is actually a pretty cool little gizmo. It ran me about 75 bucks. I've actually personally got it for a gift, but I got two Super Nintendo controllers that are converted to USB controllers, so they're not the old plugs, they're USB. They're pretty good, except for one of them is a little cattywampus. I gotta figure out what's up with that and straighten it out. It winds up being like every time you hold down, it's very, very minute. But if you're leaning one side or to one side, left or right, your guy will look down in that direction or look down in the other direction. So it's kind of like it's shitty. I think I have to go in and like cut some rubber out because I think it's depressing the D-pad in a funky way. But I mean, for 20 bucks, you get 2 controllers that are converted to USB. That's not a bad deal at all. The Pi itself was about 100 bucks, and you buy the starter kit, which is everything you need minus a thumb drive, which a 4 gig thumb drive will be so wonderful, and it will basically house everything you need. I've got, I think, like 60 games on it so far, and it's taken up like maybe 1 mega space, if that. It's very small. It's about, I mean, the circuit board's the size of a credit card. It's a little thicker, of course, because you have ports on it. It's Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and I believe, yeah, it's got an Ethernet cable port. It's got 2 ports, or sorry, it's got 1 port for an SD card, which it comes with, 32 gig. Comes with a case, comes with heat sinks, comes with all that. And it's everything you need, pretty much ready to rock right out of the box. Comes with a power supply, so you don't need power or anything. Or you don't need anything except for a controller, which you can use like a USB mouse and keyboard. They come pre-flashed with an operating system and Minecraft on it, if you get the Canna kit. It's really super simple. I mean, like, it is the most simple thing I've ever seen in my life. And a lot of people, I guess, are taking old video game cabinets for, God, what are they, arcade games? And they're finding the arcade games and putting them on the Pis and just putting that in the cabinet instead of all the old electronics for the arcade game. So a lot of people are starting to, like, build their own arcades. So it's a really cool thing, and I think this, like, I love retro gaming because it's just, I grew up in that era of people having Nintendos and Sega Genesis and Super Nintendos, and it's just, for me personally, it brings me back. For a lot of other people, they're like, oh, this is what games were, or yeah, I remember when these were around, kind of thing. And I don't know, it's a whole different level of gaming, because nowadays games are very different. Games are very, like, point and click, button mash, just go to town. And there's, I mean, games lately, you get way more story out of it, don't get me wrong. They're games now are better than they were back then for different reasons. But the fun and the playability and I could just turn it on, play the shit out of it, turn it off. When I get frustrated, I can turn it off and not give a crap. The only thing that sucks is you can't save your progress, which, that's just what it is. That is what it is. We'll see what happens later. I will see you guys later. I love you all.